Hi, my name is Isaac, welcome back to my channel, and let's talk about some stories. And today we're talking about My Hero Academia chapter 366. We got the full chapter release, and I gotta say it's quite an interesting one. Why do you ask? Because Izuku finally returns. We finally have the return of Izuku Midoriya, so we know we're getting to the final stretch of the battle, which probably means a couple of more months, but we're getting there. I believe the last time we saw Midoriya was in like June chapter 355 or like chapter 357, something like that, when he left the island where Uraraka and Tsuyu were when they were fighting against Toga. The reason why he was there instead of a UA is because Toga pulled him through the portal, and the reason why his danger sense couldn't detect her attack was because there was no actual malintent or malice in her pulling him through the warp kit. Now, unfortunately, because of this, a lot of the heroes in this chapter get clapped, but using a combination of his quirks, he does manage to get away, but he does complain that he's not fast enough to get to UA. And the last thing we see about Midoriya is him being encountered by someone or something while flying towards UA. Now, the most prevalent theory is that it was Stars and Stripes Company, the fighter jets, and at the end of the chapter, we do get confirmation that it actually was them. Hey, if you guys are enjoying the video so far, let me know by hitting that like button, and it would be a tremendous help if you could hit subscribe. And without further ado, let's continue. Chapter of the title, Peaches. Now, as for what's going on with Shigaraki and his body was transformed and modified so that it could handle the quirk All For One, because at a certain point the quirk All For One became too powerful for any one body to contain, so he had no choice but to modify the body. Because of his body modifications, his body will always adapt to the ideal form for whatever situation that he's in. At the beginning of the fight, it was a cluster of fingers because he wanted to destroy everything in sight. But with the relentless attack of the heroes, the inability to use his quirks, so no regeneration, and on top of that, the added mental stress, his body had to take on a new form. Now, the chapter does say that this is his apex form, but I would not be surprised if we do get another transformation afterwards once All For One has fully taken over Shigaraki, or like the merge of the two consciousnesses fully combine after All For One is done with the whole Endeavor thing. And I'm not gonna lie, he does look pretty cool, and he kind of looks a little bit like a final form version of the beginning version of Shigaraki when he had all of these deceased family members' hands on his body. Furthermore, he kind of does look a little bit like Vigilante Deku, just further pushing the parallel between both characters. And it would seem like the meat puppet family that he made turn into one giant hand, each family member being one finger of that giant hand. I'd say in terms of size, he's probably as big as Muscular, fully powered up. And in less than 2 pages, we have Nejire, Tamaki, and Mirko just completely decimated by Shigaraki. And the thing that's truly impactful about this chapter is that Lemillion tries to keep getting in Shigaraki's way, but at this point Shigaraki has realized that Lemillion kind of can't really hurt him, and whenever he swings, Lemillion's gonna become he's gonna phase through the attack, so he just keeps attacking and takes out Mirko in one hit, Tamaki in one hit, and throws rubble at Nejire, taking them completely out of the fight. Further pushing my skepticism on whether or not this is Shigaraki's actual apex form, is Best Genius asks, is this his final form? So this leads me to believe that we are going to get some other variation of Shigaraki for all. Genius does try to make a kind of thread prison to stop Shigaraki, while Mirio does try to intercept, and it proves all for naught because he just breaks through that prison as quickly as it was made. At this point, the only 2 people left standing are Mirio and Best Genius, and unfortunately they are not the 2 biggest powerhouses to fight someone like Shigaraki. At this point, you can start to see Lemillion fall into despair, and you know what? I get it. In his position, I would too. And it's at this point that Mandalay from the Pussycat Dolls relays a message to both of them saying, we need to lift the electromagnetic barrier, just hold them for a moment. It's gonna take 2 seconds. And let's not forget that this is shonen, so 2 seconds is like 2 minutes. And Best Genius is like 2 seconds, that's way too long for us to do anything about it. And this is where we get our favorite shonen trope, the power of a good flashback. The scene shifts back to a young Night Eye telling Mirio to keep smiling, and that a society without humor is a society that will not have a bright future. And that's when Lemillion uses his final move, sticking his butt out of the ground and goes, hey, check out these peaches. Nope, not joking, that's what actually happens in the chapter. which distracts Shigaraki just long enough for Izuku to show up. We get a very nice panel of Izuku using Black Whip combined with full Cowling and probably Fajin, and he's probably going to come in with a full 100% smash. Honestly, this is some of the nicest artwork I've seen for all of My Hero. I definitely recommend checking out the manga. And for the first time in this fight, we actually see Shigaraki get knocked off of his feet by Deku. And that's the end of the chapter. Now, there is no break next week, but I wouldn't be surprised if they shift the point of view to another group of heroes. We're probably gonna get an update on what's happening with, like, I guess, Tsuyu, Uraraka, and Toga. That would not be surprising at all to me, because that has been the common trend so far with these chapters. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you liked the video, let me know by hitting that like button. If you didn't like it, hit that dislike. Any feedback is good feedback, and I'll see you guys next time.